Hello, and welcome to Your Money 2.0. I'm Christopher Viali, President of Cambridge Credit Counseling. We've all seen commercials from debt settlement companies claiming to save you 50, 60, or even 75% of your overall debt, all while somehow improving your credit. Using imagery like the American flag and even news footage of President Obama, they encourage viewers to use debt settlement as a shortcut to dealing with their financial problems. Even worse, these advertisements often misrepresent the effectiveness of such programs, and some even insinuate that the government's stimulus package provides you with the right to forego your debt payments. This false advertisement goes a long way to hide the truth about debt settlement services. A very small percentage of individuals who use these programs actually gain any benefit. Why doesn't debt settlement work? Credit card companies are generally unwilling to settle for less than what is owed unless there are extreme circumstances. But if there are good reasons, it can be an option worth considering. For example, let's say you were injured in an accident that left you unable to work. The resultant investigation indicates that the accident wasn't your fault, but you still have to wait several months before you receive full compensation for your injuries. In the meantime, your lack of income throughout the rehabilitation period results in several of your accounts becoming delinquent. One by one, your creditors begin calling. Without your regular income, it quickly becomes difficult to satisfy all of their demands. When you receive your insurance payout, you may decide that it's in your best interest to settle some of the debts that you've fallen behind on. In our example, your credit history has already been affected because of non-payment, and the insurance money can give you a head start on the lump sum the settlement company will demand for negotiating with your creditors. It will take time to rehabilitate your credit after a debt settlement, perhaps a very long time, and that's the trade-off you make by settling for less than what you owe. In the scenario I laid out, there were very specific circumstances that indicated a debt settlement may be a good option for you. The problem with debt settlement companies is that they operate in a way where they don't work within the confines of your circumstances. Settlement companies will offer their services to anyone who has a specific amount of debt, even if the settlement will eventually devastate someone's credit history. Many debt settlement services insist that a consumer must have at least $10,000 in debt before they're eligible for the service. Why? Because a debt settlement service is not concerned with helping you. Their primary concern is profitability. If you use a debt settlement service, you're probably going to be set up on a monthly payment arrangement, and what most people don't realize is that those monthly payments are not sent to your creditors. The debt settlement company will keep your money in an escrow account until they have enough money to start negotiating with your creditors. Often, the first couple months of payments may be retained as fees by this company. Therefore, the settlement process can take several months, even years, and as you can imagine, if your creditors aren't being paid, your credit history is going to be significantly damaged. What's even worse is that most people don't realize what's happening. When you join a debt settlement company, cease and desist letters may be sent to your creditors. If that happens, your creditors will be unable to communicate with you. With no way of determining your intention of dealing with your debt, your creditors may have no choice but to charge off your accounts after 4 to 6 months of non-payment. Your account then can be turned over to collection agencies or even attorneys to begin legal proceedings. By the time this has happened, your original debt will probably have increased significantly due to non-payments, fees, and the interest that has been compounding while the settlement company has been holding your money. Some, and I stress some, collection companies and attorneys may entertain a settlement proposal, but even if they do, there are still more concerns you may face. Join me next time when we'll talk about the true costs of debt settlement, including the possible tax implications you could face by choosing such an option. As always, we welcome your feedback and ask for your thoughts and suggestions by emailing us at yourmoney2@cambridgecredit.org. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm Christopher Viali for Cambridge Credit Counseling.